I never really understood the big deal when it came to weddings. But since moving back home to Nigeria 6 years ago and getting married, I soon found out how big a deal it really is. But what happens once the party's over and it's just the two of you? I started to think about this. As much as I've heard about the romance of it all, I've also heard about the stress, the fallouts, fights, and everything in between. Divorced after 6 months, happy being a mistress, the 7-year itch, 8 years dating but no ring in sight. The topics were endless. So I wanted to see what regular people had to say on these topics. I've spoken to single people, married people, and counselors. Maybe if we're all open about our experiences, someone out there may be able to take something good out of this. And I might learn a thing or two myself. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of So You Want to Get Married. So You Want to Get Married is table talk where we talk about anything and everything to do with love, dating, marriage, sex, you name it, we talk about it. Today I've got 3 fantastic guests. First up, I've got business consultant George. George, how you doing?
How you doing?
Good to see you.
Same as well.
We also have actor Adeolu. Adeolu, how you doing?
I'm great, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. And last but most definitely not least, we have got actor and comedian Tomiwa. Tomiwa, how are you doing?
I'm fine, I'm very fine, you?
Good, I'm very well. Good to see you guys. Ladies, shine your eyes because I don't think, as I recall, we've had 3 guys on a panel and none of them are married.
Okay.
So call me, text me afterwards. Don't worry, I'll hook you girls up.
Don't worry, you can put my Instagram handle.
Yeah, I hate to say market, quick like that.
Okay, well, thank you guys for coming on the show. And
you're
let's
welcome.
talk about today's topic. Today's topic is, do we have a soulmate? Dun, dun, dun. I love this question. Okay, so before I start throwing questions out to you guys, I just want to read a couple of facts that I've got here. So this is from thedailymail.co.uk. And it says, a study showed that 60% out of 2,000 people questioned said that it took just 10 weeks for them to know that someone was Mr. or Mrs. Right. The survey also found that the typical adult dated 4 to 5 people before they met the one. And it also says here, couples who are too similar to each other are not likely to last. Now, with all of that being said, do you think the ideology of a soulmate is a ridiculous one? Who shall we go with first?
I don't think it's ridiculous.
Okay.
I think you know, I think that people have soulmates, but I just don't think you have one soulmate.
Oh, that's interesting.
Okay.
So wait, how many do you have then?
I don't know. I don't have the answer to that.
How many have you had, maybe?
What have I had so far? I just don't think that you have a singular one. Because if you have a singular one, you know, and that person, because I was thinking about this earlier. You know, I thought about somebody who got married, perfect, happy relationship, but then their wife died.
Okay.
And you get, is that to say that, you know, there's no one else for you because you met your soulmate?
True.
And the person's gone. So I don't think that you can have just one, but I do believe you have soulmates.
Okay. Tommy, what do you think?
I think we all have soulmates. One person, maybe. You have somebody that you meet, okay, you fall in love with, and then over time, even if you don't work out, you meet other people, but you know they're not that great, like that one person. Even if you move on, you know definitely there's somebody you would have rather been with, but that's not possible anymore. So I think, yes, we have soulmates, but
And you think it's just that one person?
yeah, I think some experience happened to you, and then even if you move on and you fall in love again, because love is personal, love is experience. Okay, even though you may fall in love again, and that's proven times and times over again, but there's always that one person that gets you, that you wish that the world looks perfect with, you know.
Okay, so I kind of get where you're coming from. So what happens if, like you're saying, it didn't work out and you've moved on, but that person is still that one person, and then that person now marries somebody else. So what happens?
You move on. Like I said, you move on, but it doesn't mean.
But you can still think that person is your soulmate.
Yes, you just know that. I mean, I was reading Wale Oguntokun's one article, Politics of Love and something, you know, and then people find love for different reasons. You would be surprised that a whole lot of people who are probably even married. I'm not married, so I don't know, basically. Basically now you find people just settling because maybe it didn't work out with the person they would have really loved to be
Really
with.
wanted to
You
be
know,
with.
the soulmate in quote. Okay, so everybody just say, okay, since it can't happen, we'll find love again, we'll move on, and then, you know.
George,
Okay,
what do you
you know,
think?
sometimes when I think about soulmates, it just make me feel as if it has to do with a friendship, you know, without benefits.
Really?
Yes, that's what I think when I think about soulmate or something. So
Okay.
I rather not say soulmate, I say
Okay.
helpmate instead. Because
Okay.
like soulmate is like a fragment of what helpmate is all encompassing. So you meet someone. The reason why a lot of people just move on, as he said, is basically because of, you know, they see all reasons that yes, we can be friends, we can have the romantic together, but the thing is, are we really reasoning together? Are we working together? Are we making those things, you know, that's worthwhile together? So I agree on the fact where, you know, you meet that one person. But interestingly, souls has to do with feelings. It's what you feel.
Yeah.
So, you know, after the feelings is gone, like, you know, then it comes down. So you're like, you know, then you now start thinking about, no, I actually need someone that, you know, I could share my vision with, someone I could, you know, be vulnerable with, someone I'm glad to say, okay, yes, I want to leave my parents for.
Okay.
So like the case when you said, you know, the wife died and I had to move on, you know, it's always hard for men who actually share that same, you know, help me with, talk with someone, and, you know, for me to now move on to, it takes them a whole long
Because you're still thinking, well, that person
you know,
that I
they
was
stick
with.
to everything they shared with that person, because they see the person as a help and everything. Every way, definitely they might be totally different persons,
Yeah.
but there's something they agree with. And that thing they agree with makes them, you know, go that longer mile than any other person.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just want to read out a statement. I want to see what you guys think of this. It says, in terms of suitable partners, one ideology is that everyone has a good suitor,
Yeah.
a great suitor, and the best suitor. We just have to decide which one we are willing to settle with. Now, this kind of goes in line with what you were saying, where, you know, you meet someone and then you think that person is there, and then you now meet somebody else and you're thinking, oh, this person is even better. So what do you guys think of this statement where it says, you know, you know, it's like, okay, you're dating a guy and then you marry him thinking, okay, this is the best person, but are you you might not want to wait in case you never meet that great suitor. So what do you guys think about this?
In my opinion, I was thinking about this, is that like, that's the reason I think that you have multiple soulmates, is that it's not just about, because there's so many different things, and timing is a huge one.
Yeah.
So like you might meet different soulmates and have like people that are your soulmates, but the person that you end up with is got to be that person that you're both ready at that right time. You're both in that same place,
Okay.
that mental space where you're actually emotionally mature and ready in so many different, like you said, there's so many things past the love that you have to get into. There's so much things you have to be intentional about your careers. What do you want? How are you going to work together as partners when it comes together to family and kids and all those kind of things? You have to agree on so many things, and you also have to be personally ready.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, the person that you cross paths with at that time ends up kind of really being the best one.
Tommy, what do you think?
I think what you just read is a case of good, better, best, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, good, better, best.
That's what came to my face as well.
You know, but he made quite a point, because time is key. Some people wait for love. They say they're waiting for the soulmate. Maybe he's in a situation where we have the overseas in the abroad kind of situation.
You mean Hollywood?
and then they're waiting, okay? And it doesn't mean they don't meet other people who would probably be preferable, who they could also be in love with. But because they have one soulmate they're waiting for, so they chill 10 years and they are waiting for uncle send rings from America. And then they get hooked up and stuff. So to them, that's the best. That's the best person. It doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter how, when. Okay, they even come back, get married, and then he goes back, and then they're still patching up until they could finally settle down. And so I think everybody gets that at one point or the other, depending on what they want. Okay, what they want to settle with. Some people know that, oh, this is just good because this guy has been persistent. So okay, I'll just give him a chance. Let's just settle down. And probably over time they get to fall in love. It might not be the idea of the person they really want to be with, who would have been the best. Okay. But they never still fall in love with that person and make it work. So that's the good.
Okay.
Let's keep the better.
But how can you, okay, just a question for you guys. How can you tell if someone is your soulmate? Because I'm sure there are people out there who will say that their soulmate is someone's husband or someone's wife. Do you know what I mean? And this kind of goes back to you saying, oh, you know, let's say you've met that person and it just didn't work out for whatever reason, like timing or whatever, and then that person now gets married.
Yeah.
Are you still going to be thinking, oh, I know that person my soulmate, but that person is now with someone else? So how do you tell if someone is actually your soulmate?
I like to think it this way, right? Should I use the Bible perspective?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, yeah. There's something about Genesis 2:15 to 28 that God spoke about Adam and how, you know, he had all these animals surrounding him and all this other stuff. Not until when God realized that he was still lonely. So that means you could actually liken all those animals to other things.
Okay.
Like you having every other thing that you have.
But
there's
something
there's
is
something that's
missing.
actually missing. You understand? So, and the Bible states that, you know, once he saw the woman, there's a quickening in him, you know, that could actually tell.
Yeah.
We all guys, we know that when we see, you know, the one,
That
there's
person.
that
Yeah.
thing that just, you know, triggers within you. Yeah, really. Because
Okay. Yeah, you don't agree. You're like,
yeah, you know.
But I like
I
like
get that,
that,
and I agree with a lot of it. My argument is to say that us guys, we know. I feel like the question mark comes there because I feel like if I just think about the last week, you know, all beautiful ladies you see, and all of a sudden you feel like you know exactly.
Get me.
Right?
I wasn't
So like-
done with the
so like-
sentence. I wasn't done with the sentence. You know, I wasn't done with the fact where you'd say, yeah, you know the difference. You know the difference. There's a place where you know this one catches you more than every other person. You understand? You know, but you might just want to like normal guy thing. You understand? Until you have that second reckoning again. You understand? So you think it twice. You understand? But I just believe there's a quickening in every other guy. There's no, okay, yes, like one of my friends said, I just knew that this was my wife. Although I knew there were a whole lot of them, but this one was just her. But now to convince her to get that to where, oh Lord.
That's a different story.
Not true, you talk.
Interesting. I mean, you know, I don't want to put my husband on blast, but did tell me after like 10 days that I was going to be his wife. He's gonna hate me for this, you know.
So it's just like you said, you know.
Yeah, I just think that there are pitfalls that people,
Okay.
that guys especially need to avoid, and that's and that comes, like I said, with this whole, you know, you see people and then you judge, because people, in natural human reaction, especially for guys, is to go to try and get someone, to know someone body, mind, and then soul,
Yeah.
when you should go in the other direction, know them by their soul, their mind, and then their body. Because then if you start to, you know, if you base your immediate reaction things on your physical attraction and things like that, that blurs the lines, that helps you get to
And how can
understand
you figure
the
out-
deeper things that actually lets you know whether this person actually is your soulmate.
Or not.
Because then you get confused really easily as to think that person is your soulmate because you're caught up in, you know, in the physical attraction and the physical, and you haven't taken the time to get to know someone. I like to, when I'm talking to someone, I wouldn't even ask you out. Like, I would just talk every day. I'd rather, so I know that I'm not basing it on something else, and it's based on the conversations that we're having.
Okay, well, so I'm sure the ladies are like, wow, okay. Very well said. So we've actually come to the end of this section. Unfortunately, we've run out of time, but it's time for the question of the day. I remember you guys can join the conversation at home, send messages to our social media handles and to our email. Okay, so the question of the day is totally unrelated to what we're talking about.
Okay.
So it's just something that someone sent in, and we just want to hear what you guys think about it. So here we go. Today's question of the day. After years of failed relationships, I realized that if I didn't change the type of guys I dated, I was going to keep making the same mistakes. After lots of soul searching, I decided to date a guy who wasn't my type. I was in no way physically attracted to him. However, I was in love with his personality and potential. Even though he had amazing character traits, I found the relationship challenging because I would always end up complying to the 80-20 rule. My guy had 80% of all the things I wanted, but I would usually see guys who had the remaining 20% and would somehow think that my life would be better if I was with them instead. I ended up breaking up with him as I couldn't even bear to kiss him at times and to be seen with him in public. However, it didn't take long for me to realize I made a huge mistake. Genuine good guys like him are hard to come by, and I decided to try and make the the relationship work. When I suggested we get back together, he told me that he could only be with someone who loves him unconditionally. Doesn't the fact that I love him despite not being attracted to him prove that I love him unconditionally?
Sorry, would I call that emotional blackmail?
Exactly.
Because really, why do you want to go into something you feel emotionally drained for? Basically, you know, so it doesn't make any sense at all.
So do you think like she's forcing herself?
Yeah.
That's
I think
the
she's
point.
just getting to accept good.
Yes.
I think
Good.
left, and if you can't, you know, because there's certain things that people have to tick, and there's certain boxes people have to tick. And she was trying to go back because it was a what if situation. She just realized the other person wasn't better, but it doesn't mean that guy was the best one for her.
Yeah.
So I mean,
So do you think she should just
I think she should keep searching.
Basically, because of there's one thing I just found out because you know, sometimes you feel that's the one person, and you know, as time goes on, while he said you don't have to get attached to it.
Yeah.
As time goes on, you find out that it's just not that one person. But at the same time, you're actually looking at every other factors that makes it that one person. But there's this thing that just connects, even if you guys are of different perspectives. Do you understand? But if it does not connect, don't force it. Because if you do, you end up regretting it.
and she might end up back to where she said she couldn't bear to kiss him. That's
You
probably going to happen
understand?
again. Yeah.
if she's already feeling that way, there's no point.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't even kiss him.
I mean, if your skin is, yeah.
I mean, how bad can it get? You can't
That's
even
where
kiss
I
him.
mean,
It was a big 20.
that's
I mean,
a
it's a
big
big-
20%. That's like a
Another thing I was
200%.
just thinking again is just that, you know, how, you know, the mothers of the old days, you know, just get married, you know, they just get you married to someone you don't know.
Yeah.
Do you understand? It's that kind of, you know, emotional scenario. You don't start trying to measure up your feelings and every other stuff, just trying to balance.
I
Just so
think
that
that's
you
a
can-
topic for another day because a lot of our
Yeah.
mothers could have opted out if they wanted to
Yeah.
because the societal, what the society
Society
would say
just-
is everybody stay, not
You know.
necessarily because they're happy. But I mean,
That was like, you know, nailing into the cross. Though.
Well, guys, we've run out of time. Thank you so much. It's been very, very insightful. And, you know, you guys watching at home, I hope you've been able to take away something from this. So hopefully you guys will come sometime soon. Is that a yes?
Yeah,
Definitely, fine.
when they're ladies, exactly. Please match us up.
Sorry.
we have
Easy
yeah,
trouble.
we have
So
yeah,
next time I will split you up and I will have one guy for two girls. You know, not in that way, but you
You
know.
also say A and
I mean,
B.
like not like a dating site or whatever.
So we
but,
know
you
which ones
know.
are soulmates.
Yeah, you know, kind of range and stuff.
Exactly. Thank you guys so much. Thank
All right,
you.
man. All right.
All right, and we will see you on the next episode of So You Want to Get Married. Take care of yourselves. Bye.
Yeah.